Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Games I Speak. I'm Gio,
And I'm Josie.
and today we have a good show for you. We're going to cover the results of the Game Awards, and then I'm going to go into depth about some of the reveals at the Games Awards that I thought were pretty interesting. So yeah, stay tuned, and if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. So first up, let's go over the results. So we already discussed you're not a fan of the Game Awards, so you didn't watch it. But I watched it because that's what I have to do for this show.
No,
um,
no, no. You can always take a stand. I know, and I'm gonna go ahead and just to drop some names out there. Leanna K. Kirshner, she does a lot of video game coverage on YouTube,
uh-huh.
and she boycotted the Game Awards because of Activision's involvement behind the scenes in the Game Awards. So she did it, due to moral reasons and because of Activision's lack of action in terms of all their sexual harassment claims.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, there's a lot of issues going on with Activision right now, and yes, there's a corporate culture issue, but you know, their games haven't been that good lately. Uh,
But my,
um,
my 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 stance for people that don't know is literally just the corporate nature of the Game Awards. I don't feel like they really speak to me or represent me as a gamer, so I really don't participate. I don't mind checking out the trailers after the fact. In fact, I did, but in terms of the Game Awards themselves, I could care less. But
yeah.
please go on.
So I will say it was a it was a uh, it felt like I was in a math class in a way because it was like the struggle was to get through all the advertisements. I wouldn't even say a math class because at least in math class you're learning something useful. It was very frustrating. Too many ads, and they didn't let the people who won the awards talk, give like a substantial speech.
They
Like
didn't
they
allow
gave,
the actual games shine.
yeah, they gave him like 30 seconds, and then they kicked him off the stage, and then they went straight into an ad or something. So it
I
was
mean,
just,
some of the people didn't even get to go on the stage, from what I understand. Some people, some of the awards were just read out loud and then moved on to the next thing.
yes, the Players' Voice Awards.
Mm,
Those were just read out. So the most important awards,
the community's voice is the
yes,
one that's being
yeah,
stifled.
those are the most
Interesting.
important words. And I was glad to see Halo Infinite won for I think it was the best FPS for the Players Voice Award.
Are you? Because honestly, and this is one of the problems with the Players' Voice Awards is that it's a popularity contest, and these votes happened even before the campaign dropped. So those votes are based off of either favoritism or reactions to the beta.
Yeah, but the thing is that game actually does deserve an award because if you look at its competition this year, uh, Call of Duty Vanguard and Battlefield, horrible train wrecks.
They dropped the ball hard.
They dropped the ball hard. So
It
Halo,
was their award to lose.
yeah, it was their award to lose. So okay, so the number one game was It Takes Two, which I thought it was going to be Ratchet and Clank because I played that and I thought it was an excellent game. It was a good introduction to the next gen, and
I
the
still need to
game,
play it.
yeah, it's a great game. But It Takes Two, I haven't played it. Have you played it?
So, just if all fair warning, I actually don't play a lot of multiplayer games. I play
It's a
mostly single
co-op
player.
game, right?
Correct. It's a co-op
Yeah.
game. So the way Joseph Ferrer, I think that's his name, Ferrer, uh, is his games have all had a co-op component to them, and especially local co-op.
Hmm.
And like I think what was it, A Way Out, I believe, and Brothers.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, those games they look cool, but they're just not. They don't gain my interest, especially since they're co-op focused. Like it's literally integral to the game.
Yes. Yeah. He focuses on cooperation and like if you just look at his games, they're designed around building relationships.
Correct. Correct.
Which I think is great. I
Oh
think that's
yeah,
a very needed thing in the gaming community.
I'm
But like,
personally a solitary, isolated gamer that loves to be by myself and just play my games.
yes, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool to see a small game like that win. Because I always assume it's going to be a big, money cash game like The Last of Us 2.
I mean, Hades should have won last year. Not gonna
That
lie.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should have. It should have. So
Oh,
that's why I was surprised this year. But I'm glad to see it win.
yes.
And then Deathloop won a lot of awards. Have you played it? I have not played it.
So it was a day one purchase for me,
Uh-huh.
but it happened during the semester, and I'm
Mhm.
currently in class to get my master's, and too busy.
Yeah,
Too-
yeah,
too- So I haven't started it. I'll start it sooner than later.
yeah.
But honestly, because it was arcane and the art direction looked gorgeous and the
Yes.
gameplay, I'm already, I love the Dishonored series.
Hmm.
I bought it day one with the hopes of, playing it sooner than later.
Yeah. You'll be able to play it someday. You're almost in the winter break, so.
Correct.
Um, okay, so yeah, that one creative vision and innovation, and then best narrative was Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I know some people who have played it and they enjoyed that game.
Yeah,
Um,
currently it's on a pretty darn good sale. It's practically like half off. I bought it for $26 on the PS5 on a Black Friday sale. And that
okay,
game just came out not too long ago, less than a month ago. So,
yeah,
um, for anyone interested, I guess this would be a good time to get it if you're really hankering for a narrative. I'm excited to check it out when that happens.
yeah, I actually want to play it. So outstanding creative and technical achievement was Deathloop. Be-
Yeah, no, just that 60s style and like capturing the look and feel of that. Yeah, no, I love it.
yeah. Um, best score in music was Near,
I
which
mean, I
makes
mean
sense.
yeah, that makes complete sense. Honestly, that soundtrack is over 10 years old, and I've been playing that soundtrack since I first played that game in 2010.
Hmm.
Uh, and so Near Replicant, I mean, that's overdue. The music in the Near series is incredible.
Yes, it's always been known for the music.
Hmm.
Um, best audio design, Forza Horizon 5. You and me are not racing car, type guys,
Correct.
but
I'm a Burnout fan, and
yes,
Burnout hasn't had a lot of representation recently.
or like some of the older Need for Speeds were fun, and the re-release, what was it of Paradise?
Burnout Paradise, yes.
Yeah. And then I always like the yeah, I mean Burnout, yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
my favorite Burnout is Burnout 3 Takedown, and
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, they haven't made it backwards compatible, which just sucks.
Yeah. Um, but I have a friend who plays Forza,
Mm.
and he loves it. He's like, dude, this is like a this is like a car RPG. It's like everything you want if you're a car enthusiast, which he is. Um, so for him, it's amazing. And if you look at the graphics and just everything with the game, it is next gen. It is, I would say it's the most next gen game out right now, especially for Xbox.
Well, my favorite car RPG, which I just realized I don't own a physical copy of, Midnight Club.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
loved those games back in the day. They definitely like captured that Fast and the Furious style, like street level
I don't
racing
think I
type.
had that game. I don't think I had. I think I wanted to play it,
Yeah.
but I didn't have access to it.
Those games were a lot of fun. Like I
Yeah.
definitely, I mean, I gotta check out Forza Horizon Zero Dawn. Forza Horizon
Yeah,
Zero
Zero
Dawn. I was
Dawn.
about to
Dude,
say
that's a
that. Yeah,
new genre, bro.
yeah, I know,
You're
right?
you're a
Forza
car that
Horizon
hunts
5.
dinosaurs.
But yeah, no, I need to check that out. Yeah, hopefully it fills that niche because honestly, I'm due for a good card game. But yeah, you're right. In terms of card games, I'm more of like the arcadey type.
Yes, me too. Me too. Best performance was Maggie Robertson in Resident Evil Village.
Is she
Something,
Lady Dimitrescu?
yes, something very interesting. I didn't realize she's like 6 feet tall.
Who?
Maggie Robertson, like the actual girl.
Oh, okay.
She's like she was towering over the other people on the stage.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. So she's actually like her character, like a very she has a big presence, you know.
Word.
But she doesn't look like an old like evil woman. She has blonde hair, very nice
They need to
looking.
make Tristan look like an old evil woman.
Oh well, she was very pale, and I don't know.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah, I guess if that's your type.
I mean, it's everyone's type. Have you not seen the memes?
It is, but I like a little like
Uh,
color in my in the skin of the women I like, to show me that they're alive.
So going on, moving on.
Games for Impact was Life is Strange True Color, which I mean anyone could have told you that would have been the winner for that
Well,
category.
I don't know about any of the other games.
Yeah.
But Life is Strange: True Colors. I still need to play Life is Strange 2. Damn it.
Yeah. I haven't played any of them, but
The first one's awesome. It's just the writing's a little funny,
yeah.
but the what's it called? Sorry, the voice acting. Ashley Birch kills it, and it's very sincere in how it's presented.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was a great time,
Okay.
especially if you like, like story based. It's kind of like a Telltale game.
Okay. Okay. Best ongoing game, Final Fantasy 14. No surprise there. It is
Nice.
killing it.
Yeah.
It is, and Endwalker just came out, right?
It did. So apparently, Matt, another friend of the podcast, he has been stuck in long queues. Like he will show me, like I haven't even attempted to get on because I
Yeah.
know that it's very busy right now. He's showed me like queues upwards of like 2,000 something people, and he's like, it's taking me an hour just to log on. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know he was such a big like Final Fantasy
Oh,
player
dude,
until
dude,
he joined my Discord, and then
old school.
I would like just look in my Discord at all hours. I would just see him playing Final Fantasy.
One of the first things like he told me was that back in the day he would rent Final Fantasy 6 slash Final Fantasy 3 on the Super Nintendo from Blockbuster. This is aging us.
Yeah.
But he couldn't afford the game, so he would rent it, and he learned via memory to beat the game over a weekend.
Yeah,
Um,
that's insane.
yeah. No, he's definitely he's a hardcore Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah, yeah. So it makes sense. But it's not. I think he just likes. Well, now it seems he likes games with progression, and he likes a lot of dungeon crawling and stuff like that. Because remember
Hmm.
when we played Destiny, he was like he played more than all of us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean, here's the thing: we used to play Final Fantasy 11 together, and Final Fantasy 11 was an entirely different beast. It was a grind fest,
yeah. That is a
um,
grinding game. Yeah,
and he was all about it. So Final Fantasy 14, its presentation, its execution is streamlined. It's definitely better than Final Fantasy 11 in practically every measure. Except you could say Final Fantasy 11 had a fantastic story. Um, and of course designs and world. But no, Final Fantasy 14 is his paradise.
yeah, yeah. Um, all right. Best indie game was Kina, Bridge of
I
Spirits.
need to get this game. I've been
I
trying to get
do.
this game.
I
Yeah,
really do.
I just haven't yet, but
Yeah.
I'll be getting to it.
It looks beautiful. It
Yes, it does.
really does. It really does. So best debut indie game, again, Kena Bridge of Spirits. And
Hmm.
now I
Oh, look,
I don't know.
Valheim is in there.
You know what? This is what I thought Valheim should have won. Obviously, because I'm biased because I played Valheim
Mm.
and I know how great and deep of a game it is and how much you can do. But you know, I think when Valheim came out, it came out very early in the year, and people played it so much, and a lot of people moved on from it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, like out of my group of friends that played, there was like four of us, or five of us. Only one is still playing right now. So I think it came out so early in the year, it kind of left the collective consciousness.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
I do feel that it was the best debut indie game. But I haven't played Kena Bridge of Spirits or any of these other games, so I don't know.
Okay.
Um, Best mobile game, Genshin Impact. It looks like Fantasian was there, but being locked to only the Apple ecosphere is not going to do anything for you when it comes to like awards or anything like that.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I've said this before, and I'm a big Hironobu Sakaguchi fan. I want him and his team to have all the success that they can have. But when I see games like Lost Odyssey locked on the Xbox and just not be able to reach that larger market that they could,
Hmm.
it just makes my heart cry.
Yeah, yeah,
And Fantasian is definitely the same thing. As soon as it was announced, I was just like, why? Why is it only on the Apple Store? And I'm an Apple fan. Like I own Apple products, so
yeah.
I'm covered, but I'm still upset that it's not available on something like the Switch, which
Yes, yeah. It
which
should.
is where it
Yes, it
belongs.
belongs on the Switch. You're absolutely right there. All right. Best community support, Final Fantasy 14. Best VR AR game, Resident Evil 4. This is very interesting. I did not know that there was a VR. I actually, you know what? I heard about it, but I completely forgot.
Yeah, it's
Um,
only on the Oculus.
yes. So I actually am going to play this because I have an Oculus.
Yeah.
So I am very curious to see what this is because I know Hitman when came out on VR, everyone was like, "This is so cool." These other games I don't know about. And VR really hasn't come into its own yet. You know what I mean? It's
It has
still,
not.
yeah,
Yeah. And it is a little cumbersome to even just use. So
yes, yeah. Innovation and accessibility for Forza Horizon Zero Dawn 5 uh, is the winner. Um, now,
Forza Horizon Forbidden West.
yeah, so that makes sense. They put a lot of emphasis in accessibility for this game. Um, Best action game, Returnal.
I
And
mean, Returnal is my
yes,
game of the year. It's my personal game of the year.
yeah,
And as Geo knows, I'm currently playing it. I'm trying to platinum it. I'm currently 3 trophies away.
yes. You're
It's
looking
I
for the. Are you looking for the that hidden thing you were telling me about?
So, so I was telling Gio outside of the podcast that I didn't know this, and maybe people don't know this in general, but there's actually a third hidden ending in the game, and I wasn't aware of this. So what happens is that after the first and then the second act, the entire game kind of resets and it unlocks specific items that are in each biome. There's
Hmm.
6 biomes, 6 items, and they're hidden in each biome. And you have to collect all 6 items in order to form a key. And with that key, you're able to unlock the secret ending, which
Yeah.
is called
Wh-
Act 3.
which you said is in the house, right?
Pardon?
Did you?
No, no, no. You use the key to. You have to go to the house one last time. So
Okay.
there's a trophy, and this isn't really a spoiler because it's so vague. There's a house, and you have to go to the house 5 times, and then the sixth time with the key is to assist in unlocking the next step.
Okay. Okay.
So not to give too much away, but yeah, the Returnal is a surprisingly deep game with phenomenal presentation, graphics, and gameplay that is incredibly addicting,
Hmm.
and it's just it definitely it scratches that just one more time, just one more go itch where you're constantly going back and putting yourself through the ringer just to see if you have improved. And sometimes you
Yeah.
don't. Sometimes you just die straight up at the bat. But I love it. It's got that balance of difficulty and approachability and that variability in terms of acquiring a different loadout each time. It keeps it fresh.
Yes. Definitely. So yeah, I thought that was a very well deserved win for that game.
Hmm.
And this one shouldn't even be on here. Neither should this one. This one, a lot of people did not like Back for Blood. They said it paled in comparison to the older games.
Well, I reference the Game Awards from I forget what was it,
Hmm.
2017 or 2018, where Best Fighting Game nominee Jump Force.
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah,
That's the joke in and of itself.
yeah. It is. Yeah, it is
where
because it's
where you can tell like the corporate nature of the Game Awards is
yes, yeah, and they have a board. Did you know that they have a board that has people representative of the big
well,
gaming companies?
that's why I told you about Liana Kay.
Yeah.
She boycotted the Game Awards due to Activision being on the board.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So the whole nature of it is corporate. So Metroid Dread won Best Action Adventure Game. You and me both beat this game.
Yes,
We
loved it.
both we both enjoyed it. You just didn't think it was as good as some of the older Metroid games, right?
So it's funny because I literally had just beaten Super Metroid
Hmm.
before Metroid Dread, and I adore Super Metroid, and I've played Metroid Fusion a number of times.
Hmm.
Metroid Prime. Well, those are the first-person Metroids. Those don't count.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the few people. So this will you can disregard my opinion after I say this. I'm one of the few people that still likes Metroid Other M.
Okay.
So but in terms of the game, I felt like it was a continuation. So they definitely had the foundation of the game. Like I felt they got it to a T.
Yes.
But in terms of the difficulty, I felt like it was easier
Yes.
than
Yeah.
other Metroid games,
It was pretty easy.
especially in
Yeah.
terms of its exploration and finding secrets.
Yes.
I think that they kind of
It
held your
was
hand.
very streamlined. It
Exactly.
was
Like
very streamlined.
I've never 100%ed a Metroid on the first go.
Yeah.
And this one was super easy to do that way.
Yes. Yeah.
So in that regard, I felt like they kind of corralled you into certain
Ma-
ways, past Metroid games have done the same.
yes. Yeah.
But it's just that this one felt forced in a way that I could see the man behind the curtain, if you will, to use an
It
analogy.
was a little over designed.
Yeah.
It was a little over designed, and I agree with you. There were parts where I was like, I was playing, and I was like, I thought I thought Metroid games were supposed to be hard, but I still enjoyed it. It was still a
Yeah.
good game.
Yes. But see, and this is, and I mean, we're probably veering off here, but I do want to bring it up. This is an excellent um, point that people have been making, and I have to agree with people in that, this is a $60 game,
Hmm.
and then you have something like Hollow Knight,
Yeah.
which I believe out Metroid.
Yeah.
Um, and and that game I bought for $20.
Yes.
So like that kind of content, like I've already explored all of Metroid Dread. I can double check, I can see if there's anything else that I can do, but for the most part, I think I've accomplished everything that I could in that one sitting.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and in terms of that value proposition, especially with something like Hades comes out, which is so sleek.
Yes.
And granted, it's like that, it's got that isometric view. It's a different type of game, but it's kind of similar. Um, to the point where it's like, these indie games are catching up in a big way to these styles of games.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Certain
the
genres. Certain
yes,
genres. Yeah.
exactly. And I'd say that these AAA publishers really need to step up their game to evolve that kind of gameplay. And I'm hoping that we see that.
Yeah. You know, but here's the thing. They've
Mm.
been so negligent of the Metroid series in general. How long was the gap between this and the last one?
Mm.
It was like
Let's say 8 years.
yeah,
Was it 8 or
it was
10?
almost 10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, you're right. I mean,
yeah.
unless you want to count Metroid Federation Force.
Yeah, yeah. But 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 it's funny because the game that started it all, right,
Mm,
has now fallen behind the indie innovations, like you point out.
correct. Yes.
But that's also not a bad thing per se because um,
It's competition in the
it's
marketplace.
competition in the marketplace, and also it's the indie scene. They were so hungry for a new Metroid game that they were just like, screw it, we'll
We got to
just
make our own.
yeah, we're gonna make our own. And I love Metroidvanias. I mean, I love them, and I've been playing a lot recently, and
Yeah,
yeah,
you just finished beating the messenger, and the
the me-
messenger is freaking awesome.
it's
Like
awesome and
the
very
innovation
hard.
between the yes, and the innovation between the NES and SNES, and also
Mhm.
the humor in the story. Like I'd say the Metroid Dread story is actually really bare bones. It's just Samus is stuck on a planet.
Yeah.
She needs to get off.
Yes, that's literally it. That now you have some cool cutscenes, don't get me wrong.
Oh yes, the art
Yeah.
direction
Yeah.
is top notch in that
Yeah.
game. It is a great looking game.
And that's where you see the difference between the studio size is
Mm-hmm.
in their ability to make such nice assets.
Yes, very sleek.
But the messenger for me, and even Cyber Shadow,
I need to play that
yeah,
still. I need to get that.
were just better games for me. I just enjoyed them more. They were,
Wait, you're saying the Messenger's better than Metroid Dread? Because I beat the Messenger too, or as well.
yeah, yeah. I loved the messenger, dude. For me, it was such a satisfying experience when I beat it
Yes.
because it was just so hard, you know.
Yeah, and getting those challenge tokens, I forget the
Yeah,
coins, whatever.
some
Oh,
of them
those were I broke a controller. I
yeah,
did.
I
I'm not
believe
ashamed
you.
to say it.
I believe you. I would try them like 3 or 4 times,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would give up and move on. But I did get a lot of them. I think I got about half of them.
No, I needed to get all
Yeah,
of them,
yeah,
and they were incredibly frustrating. I would
very
take
hard.
hours. I'd be like, "How can I not do this? My fingers." And that's one of the concerns I have as an older, aging gamer, if you will. Uh, my concerns are my motor functions going forward and being able to keep up with games that have that kind of twitch gameplay, and
Well, the
that's a concern of mine because I love those kinds of games. Like I said, like I'm playing Returnal right now. I
yeah,
like when it comes to a time where I'm like, man, this human lag element really sucks.
dude, when we're like 70 and
Yeah.
we have arthritis and we're holding the
I
controller
don't
like
say
this,
that. Like
and
claw, like crabs.
yeah, and all we're able to play is like Telltale games.
Nah, man. Match 3 games all the way.
Yeah. Um,
Telltale games. Oh.
but no, yeah, cut out the processed food. That'll keep you playing longer.
Oh
That's a
well.
good tip right there.
So another reason why we've been kind of like on a hiatus a little bit is that I got COVID. I
Yeah.
currently don't have COVID anymore, but I no longer have the sense of smell or taste.
Yes. Yeah. He has a mild because he's vaccinated. He has a very
Yeah.
mild case. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that you're not
So
really
I don't,
sick.
I don't, I don't, I don't need to eat food.
Yeah. um, best RPG, Tales of Arise.
I
Um,
still have to play it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who
I
played
know
it.
I
He
know for
loves it.
you the best RPG is Monster Hunter Rise.
Yes, I'm creeping up to 100 hours played right now. Um,
Are you disappointed that Monster Hunter Rise didn't get any awards? It looks like it doesn't get anything.
it didn't get anything. No, yeah, you know what? Kind of yes, in a way. Because it is such a great game. It really is.
Yeah.
But from a pure RPG category, I feel like Tales of Arise or Shin Megami Tensei 5 are
Mhm.
more deserving of that. Cyberpunk, they should just get rid of this right here because this game really pissed off a lot of people. All right.
Well, didn't you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I just I think there should be uh I think there should be a standard for how well the game played. You know what I
Fair
mean?
enough. No,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
dig that.
Best fighting game, Guilty Gear Strive. This is 100% right.
Wait a second. Multi-Blood Type Lumina. Did that
Yeah,
I didn't
they just released it.
that's not even fair. It didn't even it didn't wait, did it even come out in the States? I thought it only came out in Japan.
uh
Because I'm actually trying to get a physical copy
yeah,
of it.
you have to order
And
from Play Asia. But
yeah.
no, it's on
No, it's sold out on PlayAsia to TBH.
you
It's
can play it on Steam. You can play it on Steam.
okay.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
play it on PC.
I just platinum Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles, so that's my best fighting game of the year.
Nice. Yeah, no, you know what? It's a very simple game, but it's very fun.
Oh, it's fun and it's
Yeah, it's
gorgeous. It's
beautiful.
a really good looking. It's very approachable. It's not Guilty Gear Strive is definitely the fighting game. I'm not even gonna. It's no contest. It
But you
is a
know
fighting
what
game.
though? You know
Demon
what
Slayer
though?
is just like I don't know. It's very approachable. game that it has fighting in it, but I don't wouldn't call it a fighting game. I don't know. What would you say?
Okay, so first of all, those types of games generally the PvP aspect, they're all arena fighters. All right,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're all arena fighters. Secondly,
And that's
they
what they do with the Naruto ones.
yes, uh, and but what I appreciate about those games is that they start from the single player first. They build from the single player first. So it's
They
a
have a strong single player story mode.
exactly. So it's a fighting game designed more for people that just play alone and they want to play it. And then if they have a
That's
friend
me.
over, yeah, they have a friend over, they can hop into PvP, but it's designed for the single player person, which I think is great. I think you need fighting games that are like that. Um, but at its core, it's a single player arena fighter is what I would call it.
Yeah. So
So I think
it's funny
Guilty Gear is
because
better
a lot
suited.
of the anime fighter games like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, I actually really enjoy playing them to relive the story of the anime as well
Yes,
in a
yes,
condensed fashion. So I'm just kind of like, okay, this is the Cliff's Notes version of the anime.
yes,
And
exactly.
that way I'm not spending like, you know, how many hours it takes to watch an entire season, which honestly is the best way to do it. But when I don't have time and I just want to like relive it a little bit,
Mhm.
that's the way I do it.
Yeah,
And Demon Slayer, for those that are on the fence, I think is a great way of doing it because honestly, the graphics are like the anime. It looks incredible, and it goes beyond just a little bit beyond the Mugen train arc.
yeah. So I would say if you are a fan of anime fighters in general,
Hmm.
or you just like the anime, you should play it.
Agreed.
That's what I would say. But this Guilty Gear is different from its predecessors in the sense that it's much easier for newbies to pick it up and play it.
Oh snap!
Yeah, so it's not the same like the older ones where like only a elite few could do combos. Anyone can do the combo system is much more forgiving in this game. It's where the elites shine is the neutral play, their ability to zone people or to rush people down. That's really where the elites dominate in this game.
Hmm.
But for people like you and me, we definitely can pick up and play this Guilty Gear way easier than the older ones.
Well, I'll have to get it sometime in the
Yeah.
near future. I haven't gotten it, and honestly, I own like four different Guilty Gears, and I play them all very basic.
Yeah.
I'm just soul bad guy, quarter circles all the way.
Yeah. So this one, there's a lot of cool mechanics to it, but just go if you go to Dust Loop, if you Google Dust Loop,
mm,
they're a website that specializes in anime fighters,
yes,
and just go to Dust Loop, click on Guilty Gear.
Dust,
Yeah,
dust.
Dust. Yeah, DUST, Dust Loop. Click on Guilty Gear Strive, and then click your character. They have a complete breakdown of all the combos, of all the mechanics, of everything. So,
That's one of the things is
yeah.
like getting that bread and butter combo ready and down pat,
But it's
and then
much
moving on from
easier
there.
in this game than the older
Cool.
ones. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember the combo strings I would have to do against Soul Bad Guy, and it'd be like, oh my god.
like literally in like a day, because I play Faust or Faust, however you want to say it.
Yeah, the dude with the bag on his head.
Yeah, literally in like 2 days, I went out, got all my combos, learned them all. So
Yeah, because so it was recently actually that I was trying to get back into Grand Blue Fantasy
uh
Versus,
huh,
and that game is beautiful.
it
I
is.
freaking love it, but I can't play it. Like I'm having a hard time playing it, and I'm like, I can't devote my time to learn to play a fighting game, which that's the way you're supposed to play it. I get that.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like Demon Slayer was so approachable to me that it was like it's just easy to get in, play it, enjoy it, have fun. And um I don't know, maybe I need to find a resource that assists me in accomplishing that in order to,
yeah.
get there
So Dust
quicker.
Loop is good.
So Dust Loop sounds like a
Yeah,
good
and also just go
opportunity to do that.
go on YouTube and type your character BNB, bread and butter, and
Fair.
usually a bunch of good videos will come up with. But
I
they're
haven't
kind
figured
of
out who I want to be though. I do
okay.
like what's her name? Camilla, the girl with the shield and the sword.
Yes. So
She's awesome.
here's a trick.
Mm,
When picking this is what I do for every new fighting game that I pick up. I play every single character in a day. So I go through the whole cast. I do all their normal moves and I do all their special moves,
Okay.
and then I analyze them. I'm like, okay, this is how I play. Can does is my brain going to be able to use these moves in a way that benefits me? And
Mm,
usually that's how I end up picking my character. And then what I'll do is I'll go through all of them, and then I'll mentally note, okay, this one's interesting, this one's interesting. I like this move, and then I'll play each one in multiplayer matches, and then the one that feels most natural to me, like the one that I just pick up, like I picked up Faust like that, like I could just play him, right?
yes,
The least friction character of all the ones I try, that's the one I learn.
it's fair.
The one that goes naturally with your instinct. If your instinct is to run away, then you want a quick character that has good keep away options, right? If your
Yeah,
instinct is to just jump in and mess people up, then you're gonna want a character that's a like a heavy rush down character.
yeah.
Or if you like to do both, you like to go back and forth, then that's where you want someone like Kai or Soul Bad Guy or something like
Well, I
that.
know, like in Street Fighter, we have a history of playing a lot of
Yeah.
fighting games together, and like Street Fighter, like one of my favorites was Ken, and then of course I loved Dudley and uh, M Bison, and then Vega. So those are like the Ken and Vega are like two faster characters. Bison and Dudley are like heavier, brawler
Yes.
characters.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's
so that
funny because because of the nature of Bison and Vega,
mm,
they're technically defense characters. I mean, you can play them both offensively,
yeah,
but because they're charge characters, you're holding
yes,
back. Yeah.
correct.
So you're kind of like a mix of defense and offense. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I usually play very annoying long range characters that people hate.
Yeah, in what's it called? In Injustice, I will never play that with Geo ever again because he played Hawk Girl and all he did was just throw the mace
Yeah.
over and over again from like across the stage. And I was like, "What are you doing?" He kept saying, and I remember this. It's just jarred in my memory. He kept saying, "This is how you play her, bro. This
I
is how you
know
play her."
that's and it's true though. That's like that's how you play her. I mean, it's so stupid, but that's just the way it is, man. Um, and I wish I was like savvy enough to find a new way to play characters, but I'm not that. You'd have to play them a long time before you get to that level.
Yeah.
So best family game, It Takes Two, totally makes sense. That's what that guy specializes in is building relationships.
Yes.
Um, Best sports racing game, Forza. That totally makes sense.
Wait a second. Wait a second. What? Forza 5, what did it win before? Didn't it? I thought there was a best racing game already.
No. It won best audio design.
Oh, thank you.
Best sim strategy. So here's something interesting. Age of Empires 4. I had no clue a new Age of Empires came out, and I used to love the old one. So I'm probably gonna buy this soon and try it out. You know what it looks more like? It looks more like Warcraft 3. It's more of like a 3D type art style
Hmm.
than the older Age of Empires, which are kind of like 2D overhead style.
Yes.
So it definitely looks more modern. And best multiplayer game, It Takes Two. Just
That should have went to Monster Hunter Rise.
yes, yeah, because It Takes Two is only co-op, right?
Correct.
But you can play online, right? But it's only two people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only two people. So yeah, I think Monster Hunter Rise would have been a good one. Valheim also would have been a good one because I had a server and we built some crazy shit for like hours and hours. It was pretty cool. Um, Content creator of the year, Dream. For those that you don't know, he's like a huge Minecraft content creator on YouTube.
Mm,
Best esports athletes. Okay, I'm not gonna get into these because I don't care. And then most anticipated game, Elden Ring.
that's for sure.
That's for damn sure. Um, so yeah, and speaking of, okay, so yeah, that's it. Like we said, I take it as a grain of salt. It's a very corporate thing, but I'm just happy to see some smaller games like Returnal and It Takes Two win. So
Right.
that's my takeaway. But please let people enjoy their awards. Like, don't just like rush them off the stage and be like, okay, we got another ad coming in 5 seconds. Like, this is lifetime achievements for these people. You know what I mean? Like, let them enjoy it. You know, like,
I
um,
mean, they need money in order to run this award.
I
To rent that space is no cheap feat.
I know, but I mean, they could at
I
least be
forget.
a little bit more gracious to the people that make it happen. You know?
I was watching a video with John last night about Nintendo Life. Nintendo Life is doing something, and they called the Game Awards the Keeleys. And I was like, it should be called that because the Game Awards, it's a little too grandiose. It's like we define and we are the game, or we're definitive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you're not.
No.
No,
And
you're not.
and
This should be called the Keeleys. It should be something a little bit more specific to whomever's running it because
yeah.
this doesn't speak to the industry as a whole.
No, and we want to. Yeah, you bring up a good point. Just because they brand themselves as a Game Awards doesn't mean, yeah, that they're the be all of Game Awards. If me and Josie played all these games, right?
Mm.
If we played all these games and then we made a list and put it in order, and then we put out polls or whatever and had some people do their version as well, and then we compiled it, you know, we might be more credible than they are. You know what I mean? Like you, because
I think speak to the audience more.
yes, we might speak because they have too many industry people on their board. So and we saw that happen with The Last of Us last year. It just wasn't the game that they made it out to be, and so at least in my opinion,
Yep.
that's my opinion.
And I concur.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, let's discuss Elden Ring.
Ooh.
All right. So here's an article by Fextra Life.
Hey, when is the Elden Ring Premium Edition going to go up on sale?
I don't know. That's a good
Like
question.
WTF?
I don't know. And when it does, please, text me, call me.
Dude, everything. Shoot.
Okay. So one of the biggest announcements at the Game Awards was the new Elden Ring trailer. So it was you watched it, right?
The trailer?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
Yes. It was very story. It was definitely.
it was a
It
story
looked like.
trailer.
It looked like. And they've done this in the past. It looked like the cinematic that they play at the very beginning of the game,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
where it kind of gives you a synopsis of the world that you're in, and giving you like a glimpse into the locales and people that you'll meet.
Yeah. Damn. I picked this article because it had pictures and now the pictures don't work.
Aw, I'm sorry to hear
Um
that.
okay. So, okay, essentially let's go over this.
Mm.
So the trailer uh was it started with what's his name? Godheim or something like that?
Oh, shoot.
He's a
I want to say
god.
Godric the Golden.
Godric the Golden. He's a demigod, right?
Yes, yes.
And it starts with him getting shot. I guess
Shit, he was getting murked.
yeah, he's getting murked, and then
Um,
you see like this black substance, which is kind of like the black oil from the X Files, like just like going in his eye, and then he just
oh,
it
I was gonna say the black goo from frickin' Helix, or even what's it called? Alien.
yeah,
Not Covenant. What was it? What was that? Prometheus. Good.
Prometheus, yeah. So and then his eye twitches, and then that's it, right? So he might be undead now. We don't know. And then it goes into the maiden.
Corrupted.
Yeah, corrupted. The maiden starts telling a story of how the what was it? The death.
Of the demigods, like someone was attacking the demigods and stole the Elden Ring and broke it.
Yeah,
And
but they took the thing that they broke it was they took off the death gem or not gem. It's rune, the death rune. They
mm,
took off the death rune, and then they broke the Elden Ring. And then what happened was the queen, she took off her crown, and there was no longer a ruler for the world, right?
yeah,
And because of that, you had all these different factions trying to take the crown. And so yeah, that's what happened. And then you have this awesome like, man, I really wish I could. Here, let me do some web development stuff.
Oh
Uh,
snap!
so
You're go- you're pulling a Matrix on me, bro.
I know, right? Here we go. All right. So essentially, after that, um, it's so small. um,
Well, you took the 640 by 360. Isn't there a larger version
yeah, you can do
by 1080?
if they have it. No, they don't have it.
Aw,
Um,
extra life. You're
anyways,
usually so good.
I know it's okay. Anyways, so after that they show what's her name? Melania.
Yeah, millennia.
Melania fighting Radon, General Rod. Yeah, Radon.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That was a freaking cool fight.
yeah, and
It actually, funny enough, reminded me of Dragon Guard 3. Um, and people that know Dragon Guard will understand what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I take your word on it. Um, so yeah, then they fight, and then it shows. So essentially, what we're looking at is a story, right? The story of how the world ended up as it was, and it says it happened an age ago, right? Which means that it happened a long time ago, and now it led to the chaos of the world. And as far as we know, you're one of the people who are trying to get the crown and the Elden Ring.
Yeah, one of
Yeah,
the people vying for power.
yeah, you're one of the people vying for power, and you are a tarnished, right? And we don't know where the tarnished fit in this power structure. We assume that the tarnished are lowly in the power structure, because you have the
As
demigod.
tends to be the case.
Yeah, you have the demigods up here, and then you have, whatever, the queen, the royalty. We don't even know if the queen was a demigod, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, and we don't even know what the Elden Ring is, so to speak. Some people are saying it was a ring of demigods that were, sitting at a table. Other people say no, it's a physical
Yeah, I
ring.
mean they keep showing a
Yeah,
ring,
yeah, they keep
or I
showing
mean,
a
circular objects like
yes,
the crown as well.
the crown. Yeah,
Um,
so
multiple crowns actually.
yeah,
No, I mean it looks incredible.
yeah.
It needs to be here. February, right?
Yeah, it's soon. It's coming soon.
Can't come soon
It
enough.
can't come soon enough.
Can't come soon enough. Um, I wish I
Yeah.
wasn't taking classes.
Yeah, so that's basically what the trailer was, and I know it's kind of like all over the place, but if I could go line by line, I would. I just didn't. I couldn't find a good article for that. But
I mean, if anything, people should watch it.
yeah, just watch
It's
it.
gorgeous in its visuals. We wouldn't do it
Yeah,
justice.
watch it and listen very closely to what the maiden is saying, and then you'll get a picture of what's going on. And another interesting thing was that the maiden, they showed one of her eyes was damaged. It was closed,
And she has 4 hands.
and she has 4 hands. And Millennia, one of her eyes is also the opposite eye is also closed and damaged. So they think, and she has a prosthetic hand, right?
Yes.
So they think that Millennia and this maiden, they're somehow connected. They don't know how, but they're somehow connected. So that's also a mystery as well. Um, so anyone familiar with these games knows that the stories are so deep and mysterious that you have to go in the world and investigate it yourself.
The thing is with Germ, I like to say Germ, George R. R.
Yeah,
Martin's involvement, we can expect the story to be even deeper than it was in all the previous games.
yeah,
Um, so excited to see this.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be awesome
Not to see it, to experience it.
to experience it. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
And we're man, this might be the most hours you and me ever put into a single game From Software game because of the nature of the game that it's open world.
Fair.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I spent close to 200 hours on Demon
Hmm.
Souls easy, just on the first playthrough because I loved the world and just traversing it. And obviously it was hard, but I wanted to do everything in that game,
Yeah.
and I did. It's definitely it's one of the masterpieces of a generation, and it defined a genre for me. So From Software definitely has my support
Yes.
and love and affection. Like they currently have not been able to do any wrong, knock on wood.
Not in many years.
Yeah,
Not in
exactly.
many
I
years.
mean, they've come a far way from Ninja Blade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Though I purchased it, but I haven't played. I don't know how to pronounce it. Deracine, the VR
Oh
game that they
yes.
made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm currently lending my VR system out to someone else. But I need to check that out.
Yeah. 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 That was the one that flew under the radar.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, and everyone was like, "From Software did this? What?"
Yeah. I need so VR. I need to play Deracine, but I have to use it at your house. Uh, uh, Resident Evil 4 VR, and also they're coming out with Among Us VR. That was another announcement. That's perfect for that game. That is perfect for that game. If you haven't played that game, it's fun as hell. But in a VR sense, man, that'll be awesome. Um,
Like I said, I'm not a multiplayer guy,
yeah.
so
Um,
it's fun. I'd say I'm not a multiplayer guy, but I like Final Fantasy 14. But Final Fantasy 14, they do it in such a way that,
you can play single if you want.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
You're not going to get far as far as gear goes, but you can play single.
I mean,
Um,
just max out all the classes to 80, and
yeah.
you can be, your own blacksmith, leather worker, what have you.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, Senua Saga Hellblade 2. It took 1 month for artists to create that 40-foot film quality troll.
Wow.
Yeah. So for me, this was one of the highlights of the Game Award because the way that this trailer looked, and it's similar to the old game, which is more of a. It's not really a game in the sense that it's a game designed to just be a game. It's a technical kind of display. You know what I mean?
Wait, what do you mean?
It was designed to show off the tech of Unreal Engine.
Oh,
Yeah,
the original game?
yeah,
Yeah, the original game.
and it was short. It
When I
wasn't.
played it, yeah, you could beat it in, I think, less than 3 hours.
Yeah,
I remember it was really easy. And the gameplay itself was not, to me, it wasn't compelling.
yeah,
It was very bare bones, and there was a lot of unfortunately forced walking events,
hmm
which, like, it upsets me to no end. But damn it, it was gorgeous.
yes, and
It
that's the
was
point
a
of it.
fantastic
That's the
looking
point of it.
game, especially coming from a smaller studio. Like, it was impressive looking, and also the audio. At first, initially, I played it in with just the TV speakers, and then afterwards, I played it with like a 7.1 headset,
Hmm.
and it made a world of difference. Like, the audio is really incredible in that game as well. They put a lot of technical backing into that game. Unfortunately, it didn't show up in the gameplay itself. So I'm hoping that Senua Saga corrects that.
Yeah. From so let's read this. By utilizing their latest runtime technology, Ziva helped Ninja Theory bring the full fleshy horror to of the troll to life in a way conventional workflows just can't do, says Aaron Vidler, technical director at Ninja Theory. Since its inception, Ninja Theory has been devoted to pushing the envelope for interactive digital content. They have continued to work with new paradigm shifting technology teams to uncover and create the bleeding edge of gameplay experiences. And the partnership between Ziva Dynamics and Ninja Theory is set to generate even more best in class character results in 2022. Basically, go watch this trailer. It was played, I believe it was played in the cinematic view because there was no health bars or
Mm.
meters or anything like that.
Well,
Um,
there's like literally no HUD elements on the game itself, and
yeah,
the and in Senua's sacrifice. So it could very well be just gameplay
yeah,
because it's all visual in terms of um the what's it called, the representation of anything like gamified
yes,
within the game. So it looks very. Your signal's gone, by the way.
yeah. I know. I
Uh,
don't know what's going on.
everything's diegetic within the game.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So yeah.
So yeah, definitely watch that trailer. It really showcases what Unreal Engine 5 is capable of. Okay, next up, Star Wars Eclipse is a new action adventure Star Wars game set in the High Republic era from Quantic Dream. Have you ever heard of Quantic Dream before?
Bro, are you serious?
I don't. I'm not familiar with their studio.
Oh my God. Okay, so they're a French studio that mostly works in creating action. I'm sorry, adventure style
Uh
games
huh.
with a heavy QTE component.
Uh huh.
I believe their first game was Fahrenheit, or well, known in the West, Indigo Prophecy.
Hmm.
And then after Indigo Prophecy, they made a game for the PS3 called Heavy Rain. And then Heavy
Oh
Rain was
yes,
followed
yeah, that's right.
by Beyond Two Souls.
Yes.
And then Beyond Two Souls was followed by a really cool tech demo called Kara. And that tech demo is incredible. Like, I think it still holds up today. But that tech demo ultimately became a game called Detroit Become Human.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I loved Detroit Become Human on the PlayStation 4. I thought it was phenomenal. So when I saw this,
Hmm.
Star Wars Eclipse, now I'll go ahead and I want to bring this out there. I'm not a Star Wars fan anymore.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the original trilogy. The prequel trilogy, okay. They happened during my childhood, so I don't
Yeah.
have too much nostalgia for them, but at the very least, those stories built up to something, which was, building up to the story of the original trilogy.
Yes.
And then this the story from The Force Awakens and on really blew it out for me. I really don't care about what's going on with Star Wars currently as it
Yes.
stands. Um, but this got me interested. I didn't even care about The Mandalorian. This was interesting to me, and I like the tone,
Uh-huh.
the visuals, the score.
Yeah.
Everything about this trailer was like, why haven't the movies been like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if anything, I don't know about the High Republic. I
Hmm.
don't know what's going on, but I think that's a good thing, that they're not resting on nostalgia
Hmm.
and they're kind of going their own way with it. Like, I really enjoyed Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm actually excited to get to see the remaster of that. Um, so that Knights of the Republic is like one of the definitive RPGs that I played back in the Xbox era. And so like older Star Wars stuff, like I'm still cool with, but when it comes to the new stuff, I need a lot of convincing.
Hmm.
And this one, I'm already intrigued just from the visuals alone. But then when I heard Quantic Dream, that means it's going to be heavily story and character focused, and I'm excited to see that. I want to see what they have in store.
Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of sucks that I haven't played any of their games because I know that their games are big.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think
but
Beyond Two Souls is the only one that didn't do so hot.
okay.
And I actually pre-ordered that day one and was like, man, I am not feeling this game. And that's the only Quantic Dream game that I didn't feel. Like Heavy Rain, I was in from the get-go.
Okay.
Indigo Prophecy, in from the get-go. Indigo Prophecy back in the day when I played on the PS2, it also came on the Xbox.
Yeah.
I was just like blown away that this kind of storytelling was in a game. I hadn't experienced something like it before. And then Detroit Become Human, I actually I finally got to play it, pardon, during the pandemic, and I played it alongside my sister, and it's just such a fun game to experience, especially with someone beside you. It's a
Yeah.
movie game where you're making the decisions, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's a specific style of gameplay, so I know it's not for everyone. Um, but if you do enjoy it, I would say that Star Wars Eclipse is something to look out for. But
Yes.
from what I've read, and this is something that these games aren't known for, which
Hmm.
is heavy gameplay components, that they are trying to in, introduce more gameplay components than they have in these previous styles of games.
Okay, yeah, you would have to for a Star Wars game because Star Wars
Well,
games
yeah,
are
especially with the lightsaber battles.
yes,
But here's the thing. I mean, I just referenced KOTOR, and KOTOR, when you saw the trailer for KOTOR, you're like, "Oh my god, I can't wait!" But when it comes to actual gameplay, all you're
yes,
doing is like attack, and then they are automatically fighting in this lightsaber battle, and they're doing like these scripted moves. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So you don't need that in order to have a compelling Star Wars game because KOTOR is like one of the definitive Star Wars games out there.
True, true, true. And then there's games like Force Awakens if you want to have that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, and I loved Force Awakens back in the day, even though it was insane. It was over the top. It
yeah,
was a lot of fun.
yeah. Um, okay, so yeah, that's definitely cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look out for that, and I need to play Detroit Human or something. You know what? I think did it ever come out on PSN,
It did.
PlayStation Plus?
It did.
Okay, I probably have it in my library somewhere. All right.
Check.
So next up, Wonder Woman. So the reason I picked this is because there's something very interesting here. Wonder Woman's single player open world game in development at Monolith will use the Nemesis system. So for those that are unfamiliar with the Nemesis system, we've talked about it on this show before. It was used for Shadow of Mordor and
No,
Shadow
no,
of
no.
War.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was introduced in Shadow of Mordor. I thought it was like
I think it
heightened
was
in
both.
Shadow of
Yeah, I
War.
think it was in
Got it.
both games.
Cool.
And essentially what it is all right. Let's see what this guy says first, and then I'll get into what it is. Wonder Woman is one of the most iconic DC superheroes of all time, standing for truth, justice, and equality for over 80 years. And we're proud to be creating an exciting new game chapter in this legendary character's legacy. The talented team at Monolith Productions is building upon their strengths to bring players a Wonder Woman game that is unlike anything they have ever experienced. David Hewitt, President and Studio Head at Monolith Productions, added, "At Monolith Productions, we believe in the power of player driven storytelling to unite people. The stories our players share inspire us every day, and we are honored to take players on a unique personal journey. Driven by the values embodied in Wonder Woman, the Nemesis system raised the bar for player driven storytelling, and we're excited to push the open world genre forward, combining cutting edge action with inventive narrative to create a Wonder Woman game everyone will want to play." So the trailer didn't show really anything.
It was just a teaser
Yeah.
trailer.
But afterwards, we found out that the game is going to be open world, and it's basically going to be have the Nemesis system. So I'll kind of go over what the Nemesis system is. It's very complicated to explain, but I'm going to give like the brief, overline um, overview.
Bro, keep Wonder Woman on there. Don't put my face up
I
on.
I can't put.
As you explain the Nemesis system, let's keep Wonder Woman up there.
Okay.
Don't have my stupid face on.
Um, I can't. The, dude, I don't know what's wrong with my camera, man. It was working fine.
It's all good. It's all good.
But
We'll get through this.
but essentially, what's going on is that the Nemesis system keeps track of your player decisions, and then it allows the computer, the different enemies in the game, the environment, to use it against you, or to benefit you. So, for example, like uh, a good example would be like if you were playing Shadows of Mordor and you killed a like a goblin or something, and you ran across his brother later in the game, he would be like, "I know what you did to my brother," and he would like have a vendetta against you because you killed his brother early in the game, and the Nemesis system kept track of it, and it fed that information to this his brother later in the game, and now you have to fight him because you have to pay consequences for your action. So that's what's so interesting about the Nemesis system, and I assume because of the type of character Wonder Woman is, where she's like a moral figure, where she has to do the right thing. You know, she's like uh, Captain America in that way. You're gonna be
Bro, you could just keep it in DC and just say Superman.
man, Superman.
Superman's the best. Shut up.
He yes, he's moral, but I don't like what they've done to him recently. Anyways,
I don't
they've
know what you're
turned him into
talking
a
about.
fucking psycho. That's what they've done to him.
Ooh, I don't. What are you talking about? What happened? When?
You remember Man of Steel? He was blowing up buildings with people, innocent people inside of him.
You
Like
don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
whereas he would fly 1,000 miles to save a bird
Man of Steel.
in the comics.
Man of Steel's a fucking masterpiece. Take that
Anyways,
back.
anyways, so what I'm thinking is she's going to be this moral kind of righteous figure, and you're going to have to make these decisions, and the Nemesis system is going to use it against you if you make the wrong decision. So I think that's going to be cool. It's probably going to be like Fallout games in a way. You know what I mean? Where if you're really shitty, it's going to lower your interactions with people and stuff like that. So, um, but as far as the open world goes, I have no idea. I mean, is she going to be like in her
The
home?
mascara.
Yeah, yeah. She gonna be there? Is she gonna be in like 1950s New York? Is she gonna be present day? I have no idea.
World
So
War One.
World War I, yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't know. It sounds interesting. I really loved Shadow of Mordor. I thought it was fantastic. If anything, funny enough, I was actually looking for more Lord of the Rings games. Um,
they did
a,
announce a
cou-
new Golem game.
a couple of days ago, I was looking a couple of days ago for like more Lord of the Rings games that were based off the OG's
Oh yeah, yeah,
movies, and I was just like, man, one of these is good because I don't know which ones are good, which ones are not. I don't like the Lego games.
hmm
So I wanted to see which ones from like that were made like on the Xbox, GameCube, PS2 era,
yeah.
which ones are good. Maybe you can let us know in the chat. But I still need to play Shadow of Mordor. I played Shadow of War, or I need to play Shadow of War. I've already played Shadow of Mordor, and that game was impressive. Which one's that one? Is that one's the
This
Two
is a
Towers?
GameCube game. You can borrow it if you want.
Is that the Two Towers?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't borrow anything that says gamers player's choice or whatever. That's beneath me.
So this is
Uh,
actually not a player's choice. This is the original, but
I saw the cover, bro.
I had to order. I order original cases when I can for cheap because I like to. It keeps this from
Preservation.
going in the dump. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah, this is not. This is a player's choice case, but it's the original cartridge. But I've never played this. This is a GameCube game, so yeah, look it up, man. If you're interested, you can borrow it from me.
cool. A Shadow of Mordor, highly suggested. I don't know if you played it, Geo. I highly suggest you play it.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
have it
lot of
on
fun,
PC. I haven't beaten it.
and it plays beautifully, as well as it's an awesome open world, and the progression is a lot of fun.
hmm
And it doesn't like interfere with the Lord of the Rings mythos or story in such a way that it's like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's a lot. It's really cool.
yeah,
So I need to play Shadow of Mordor. In regards to Wonder Woman, I don't know her rogues gallery well enough to know like how that nemesis system is going to work. I mean, is
yeah.
there just going to be like a lot of randos?
I don't know.
Are they going to incorporate people within just the DC um pantheon in and of itself? Are we
Yeah.
going to see other superheroes too?
Is it going to be
That'd
her
be
versus the
cool.
gods as it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, if anything, I just need to see more. I need more
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, we definitely need to
But
know what the world's going to be like.
conceptually, sounds cool.
Yes. Very cool. And I never thought I would be like interested in a Wonder Woman game, but the fact that it's done by Monolith and it's going to have the same system as Shadows of Mordor, that's what is interesting me right now.
Word.
All right, our final story. Slitterhead, such a dirty name.
It sounds gross.
It is gross.
What do you
It,
mean? Oh my God.
yeah, yeah. So Silent Hill creator and veteran PlayStation devs announced new horror game Slitterhead. Bokeh Game Studio has released a new video showing off gameplay for its first in development title, Slitterhead. So, um, headed up by Kichiro uh, Toyama, the Japanese creator who is known for working on Silent Hill, Siren, and the Gravity Rush series of games. So this guy's
God
legit.
damn. Yeah.
Has revealed at the first trailer for its upcoming horror game, which was today revealed as Slitterhead. It does sound like a Japanese horror movie. That
Hmm.
title is totally a Japanese
Something
horror
out of the
movie. Yeah,
80s.
yeah. So,
Tetsuo, the Iron Man over here.
so his studio is called Bokeh Game Studios, and this is their first game. And have you seen the trailer?
I have not. I didn't even know about this until you brought it up.
Okay, so let's. I'm gonna turn the sound
I don't
off.
want you to get a copyright strike.
Well, this isn't a YouTube video here. I don't think so.
It
All right.
says watch on YouTube. It is.
Oh, it
It has
is.
YouTube AI or UI. Jeez, AI.
Oh, yeah.
There is no AI in YouTube.
Oh, wait, no, no. This player here isn't a YouTube player.
But the UI is very YouTube-like.
Yeah, but I think because it's not the actual. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So, I just turned
You
the
know, I
sound off.
still have yet to play Siren. I just recently purchased Siren on the PS3.
Uh huh.
I forget Blood something. During the PS3 scare
Yeah.
of
Yes.
geez
Yeah.
Louise, this
The
is
great
gross.
PS3 scare.
But this also looks very much like a no offense, like an Xbox game.
Yes.
Like I'm talking like OG Xbox. That's what
Yes.
I'm saying. I'm not.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about the graphics. It is a very small studio, and this is their first game.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's fine. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to look amazing. It's just I'm just commenting on that.
But what's going on looks insane.
Yeah, what is happening?
I
Is this
don't
an
know.
action game?
I
Because that
don't
dude
know.
just hatcheted. Whoa,
Yeah, that looks.
is that Kowloon?
And then watch this part. Watch
Does this
this.
take place in like the 90s?
It might.
Oh, nice, Akira.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Watch this. This part is freaking awesome.
Oh, that was horrific.
I know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all they showed. So, I mean, what do you think, man? I think that looks pretty cool.
I'm already down. I'm already down. I mean, we need more of these survival horror type games, especially in this day and age. I feel like it's becoming a lost art. Uh, I just don't see them at all, really. Resident Evil 8, as fun as it wasn't anywhere near as scary, or it didn't even capture that kind of sense of dread that Final Fantasy, Resident Evil 7 did.
Yeah, and they did that on purpose, which is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because
And I mean, the entire genre is about being scary, and it's like we gotta tone it down.
it's about feeling like something's watching you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you have to
Like,
be. It's on edge. It elicits an emotional and like physical response. Um, and a lot of the best survival horror games are on older consoles, and they are just locked there and are super expensive. They're
yes.
ridiculously expensive.
So, tip for people that don't know, horror games in general, but even the ones that especially the ones that aren't that well known, go up in price astronomically over the years. So, if you're like a collector, I would get this collector's edition of this game when it comes out because it's done by a small studio, and like you said, it's not a common genre anymore.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be printed in low quantities. So this game could end up being worth a lot down the road for collectors.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I love seeing games like this because it's not just an old forgotten genre. It's creative. You know what I mean? Like that whole trailer, like you don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
uh, and it reminds me of an 80s, 90s horror Japanese
Yeah.
anime or something. You know what I
And
mean?
indie studios are kind of trying to pick up the slack. I mean, we've got stuff like Outlast. And Layers of Fear really doesn't do it for me. Medium tried to capture Silent Hill, but there was no bite to it. You can't even die in that game.
Yeah.
Um, there's stuff like Tormented Souls that just recently came out, which is like supposedly trying to get that Silent Hill, so that's Resident Evil, old school vibe, which
Yeah.
I have yet to play. I need
I
to play it.
I haven't played this yet,
Yeah.
but it's on PS5 as well as the older consoles. And this one is a fusion of Resident Evil, the older Resident Evils, and Silent
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
It brings the management system, the inventory management system, and the kind of well, I guess you could say the controls and the look are both similar between the two genres. But yes, this game right here, Tormented Souls, this is a hidden gem right now. So I haven't played it yet. I do own it. I am going to play it. Um, but yeah, this game looks to be on the level of this game,
And then
Slitterhead. Yeah.
and then there's another game. I'm forgetting the name. It's called Remothered.
Yes. Yes.
Remothered is in the style of Clock Tower.
Okay.
And the Clock Tower games I just adore. I love the Clock Tower games. So
And what about
that
the plague
A
games?
Plague's Tale,
Yeah, Plague's Tale games.
Innocence, those are less survival horror and more like story-driven adventure games with
Yeah.
like some scary elements in there, but it's not survival
Okay.
horror per
Okay.
se. Um, and so we've got those like indie survival horror games, but in terms of like a larger, more how do you say it? People with notoriety. People with
Yes.
notoriety.
Yes.
We've got these bigger names that are pretty much fathers of the survival horror genre. Akira
Yeah.
Yamaoka, in terms of that music that he made for Silent Hill, it's iconic. Everyone knows how his sound is.
Yeah.
So I'm excited just to hear music from him in general. Like that's
Yeah.
how the Silent Hill 3 soundtrack. Say what you will about Silent Hill 3, but mwah, love it.
Yeah.
Um, and then Keiichi Toyama,
Yeah.
Keiichiro, is that what his name?
Let's look it up.
I forget. I apologize if I said it incorrectly, but the fact that that name is attached to it, yeah, Keiichiro
Yeah.
Toyama.
Yeah.
The fact that his name is attached to it is quite
It's
large for
big.
people
Yeah.
that are privy to the genre, and
Yeah.
so it'll attract word of mouth. And just the way it looks, it's got me excited. Even though like you said, the budget does show in terms
Yes.
of its dated visuals.
Yeah.
As long as it gets the tone and the story right.
And the
Uh,
consistency is
yes.
yeah, as long as there's
Yeah.
consistency along the assets, it's fine. And this will be their first game. So this will probably be a little rough around the edges,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm more than willing to forgive that to get more of these types of games.
Like I still need to play The Evil Within 2, and that actually got some good critical reactions. I'll probably play it sooner than
Yeah.
later. But I actually didn't like The Evil Within 1. I
So
felt like it was like kind of a soft retread of Resident Evil 4 in a way, and it
yeah.
just didn't capture it for me. What were you gonna
So
say?
Evil Within 2,
Mm.
the structure of the game, from what I understand, is different from the first one.
Yes. No.
So
Yeah. No. It's an
yeah,
open world game.
it's an open world game. So that's why people like the second one more.
Well, not just because it's an open world game, but I think tonally and story wise, they fixed a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
Because Evil Within 1 was, at least when I initially played it, was kind of a mess.
Hmm.
And I will be replaying it before diving into 2,
Hmm.
just to get a refresher.
Yeah.
But from what I recall, I was just like, what is going on? This is incomprehensible. And the
Yeah.
gameplay was just I.
Yeah. And um yeah, and so yeah, there's yeah, I would say there's a lot of good ones on the PS4
Mm,
generation. So yeah, if you're like dying for those type of games, look at the PS4. You can still get a bunch of them for cheap right now on eBay. That's what I did. I bought about 4 or 5 different horror games that I never played from the PS4.
Which ones would you recommend?
Evil Within. Let me look over my collection real quick. Yeah, Evil Within. Um, and we have obviously you have to play Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Um, I just
I mean,
let someone.
the entire Resident Evil series is represented on current generation hardware in general.
Yeah.
So I really do like that. Say what you will about Capcom,
Hmm.
but at the very least, they are making sure that historically speaking, some of their games are still on current gen platforms, which
Yes.
is great for people that that haven't experienced them. Like Resident Evil 1 remake is one of my favorite games of all time. Like Resident Evil 2 remake dethroned it, but Resident Evil 1 remake is still an incredible game. Like I played it recently again, as well as Resident Evil 2 in anticipation for Resident Evil Village, and I was trying to work my way through it, but I couldn't play throughout the entire series, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But oh man, oh yeah, I downloaded Soma. I still have yet to play it. Outlast is okay. I wasn't so much a huge fan of it.
Days Gone. This is another one that.
I need to play that.
Yes.
I do own it.
So we have.
Metro.
There's a.
I like the Metro series.
There's a lot of people on this channel that love Days Gone. A lot of people
Yeah,
that have
but here's the
commented.
thing. Would you say that's a survival horror game or is that an action game with zombies?
I would say it's survival horror. I would say yeah. I would say zombie is a horror uh, subgenre that is kind
Mm,
of a little played out, but people really enjoyed this game,
fair.
and they were
No,
very upset.
I do need to play it.
They were very
Upset what?
upset when the studios was basically said they're not going to make another one, that they're going to work on um, The Last
That's
of
the
Us. Yeah.
gotcha.
Dying Light. That's another one.
That looks like a lot of action though, from what I saw.
Yes, that's a
Um,
more action type game.
Yeah. Oh yes,
Yeah,
Fatal Frame just came
yeah.
out. I purchased it. Have yet to play it though. That's unfortunate. Alan Wake Remastered. That's nice. It's a fun game.
Dark
Uh,
Pictures
it,
anthology.
it, it's not so survival horror-y though. It's pretty actiony.
Uh, yeah, I haven't played any of these games. So yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
and then there's one more that
It's just that like the heavy hitters of survival horror have already come and gone, and
yes,
they were like on the PlayStation 2 era. Survival in terms of survival horror, um, I'd say Silent Hill 2 is definitely one of the best survival horror games I've ever played in my entire life.
yes. It is a
Uh,
very well. We used to play when you lived.
yeah,
We'd go to your house and stay up all night playing Silent Hill,
yeah.
and it was at the time the graphics weren't even that great at that time.
No, are you kidding me? The cutscenes were
No, no, I
incredible.
mean like the game itself. Like
Mm,
but that's
all
not
that
what it was.
fog
Yeah, that's not what it was about. You know what I mean? It was about the atmosphere that the game
created. Yeah.
created. And if you
Yeah.
played it at night in a dark room with your friends or alone if you're really brave,
Yes.
um that's something that I guess we've kind of lost, you know what I mean, as we've gotten older.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Death Stranding had tinges of horror in it.
Yes.
Like it actually made me jump, and I was just
Yes.
like, "Yo, when is Kojima gonna get Silent Hill? Like, what the hell?"
When the what are they called again? The shadow people in
Oh, BTS?
BTs. When the BTs like started coming up from the ground and like grabbing you, that's when
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh, this game is kind of a little bit like a horror game in a way."
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it was I would love when I would trigger the BTs and one of those big like they look like lions almost.
Yeah.
They would come out and chase you around, and you would skate down the black ooze.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It was like it was a feel of a horror game in a sense.
Yes.
But the world was just so beautiful, you weren't scared. You were just like, oh look at that
Well,
mountain
you
over there.
also we were a little underpowered,
You were a
and
little.
that
You,
that
Yeah.
That assisted in kind of like the pressure. It's like the anxiety of like, oh my gosh, how can I survive this encounter? This thing is faster than me and it's messing me up.
And it's overwhelming. Like
Yep.
there's so many of them, you know what I mean? And it's like once they got you, you just had to kind of run your course and hope you could get out alive.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see games like Slitterhead coming back, and I'm definitely going to support it.
Yes.
Yeah, because I want
Definitely.
to see more of those games. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, that's it for this week. If you like any the episode, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? I like to read people's opinions in the comments. And
Yes.
then if you really enjoy it, subscribe. And thanks everyone for watching. I'm gonna try to be more regular. You know, some things have been coming up. You know, he got sick
Life
and
happens.
life happens. Life happens.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to be more regular with these things. But if when you guys like and subscribe and when you leave comments, it lets us know to keep making this stuff. You know what I mean? Because it is hard, and with YouTube censoring now more than ever, um, it is kind of like one of those things where it's like,
Is YouTube the right place?
yeah, but where where else are you gonna
Where
go?
else? Vimeo?
Yeah. So yeah,
AOL? I'm kidding.
yeah. So I thanks everyone for your support, and as we grow, hopefully, I'm gonna try to find ways to make us more. Um, I wanna be more like in communication with community and try to build a community. I'm still trying to figure out ways to do it because I know some people do it on Twitter, some people do it on Discord, some people do it on Twitch. Right now, the only way we have is the comments on YouTube. So it's really important for you to converse with us there. But I'm gonna look into other ways so we can try to get some more feedback from you all. So yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
And keep on gaming. Take care.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Games I Speak. If you liked the episode, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.